Okay, so I'm hopping right into this recipe video. The first recipe is air fried cauliflower wings. So as you can see, I'm just chopping up 1 head of cauliflower. Now I'm adding 1 cup of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, and I'm just mixing that up. And I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of sea salt and 1 cup of water. Now I'm just dipping my cauliflower in it and placing it in the air fryer. Now I'm just dipping it in some buffalo sauce. I'm using the jarred buffalo sauce, but you can make your own. And then I'm going to put it back inside the air fryer for another 15 minutes. And then it's going to come out all delicious and crispy, just like this. And I'm eating it with some fries and vegan ranch. This next recipe is a veggie bowl with tofu and seaweed on top. So I'm just chopping up some extra firm tofu into cubes. Also, half a yellow onion and 1 yellow pepper. And I'm adding this to a skillet with some oil, along with some sea salt and black pepper. I'm just going to create like a circle in the middle so I can add the tofu. And I'm going to season this with some of this umami mushroom seasoning I got from Trader Joe's and some garlic powder. I'm going to let that cook, let it brown on one side, and then turn it around, let it brown on the other. Now I'm adding some coconut aminos, 2 tablespoons of the coconut aminos. And I chopped up about 5 small Yukon Gold potatoes, and I'm going to let it brown on one side. I'm seasoning it with some sea salt, some black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And once it's brown, I'm going to flip them over and add about 1/4 cup of water, just so they can cook. I want them to soften, so I'm going to put the lid on, let it cook for about 15 minutes. But halfway through, I pushed them to the side and added some frozen corn. I'm adding some sea salt to this, some black pepper. And I put the lid back on and let it cook until everything was soft. And I'm adding a little bit of minced garlic to the corn. And that is it. I add everything to the bowl, some avocados. And now I'm cutting up my nori sheet. And I'm adding a little bit more coconut aminos. Teriyaki sauce goes great with this as well. And some sriracha. And the last recipe is some banana ice cream with peanut butter chocolate chip granola, topped with some date caramel. For the date caramel, I'm adding 1.5 cups of dates to a blender and 2 pinches of sea salt, a drop of vanilla extract, and 1.5 cups of boiled water. For the granola, I'm adding 2.5 cups of Rice Krispie cereal. I'm using the Trader Joe's brand, and 1.5 cups of oats and a 1/2 cup of roasted pumpkin seeds. For the peanut butter mixture, I added 2/3 cups of peanut butter, a 1/2 cup of agave, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I just let that cook, and I stirred it for about 30 seconds until it came to a boil. And once it was done, I added it to the granola, and I waited for about 10 minutes before adding my chocolate chips. I'm adding 4 frozen bananas to a high-speed blender. You can use a food processor. And I'm just blending it on high speed. I added a teaspoon of vanilla extract. If I need more liquid to thin it out a bit, then I add a little bit of almond milk. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very simple and delicious recipe video. I will see you next time.